Huge relief for parents. The Delhi High Court has disposed of a public interest litigation challenging the applicability of the Right to Education Act in nursery admissions. According to the court, the Right to Education Act is not applicable to nursery admissions, which means that the ongoing nursery admissions in the capital will remain unaffected. Well, the public interest litigation challenged the two government notifications giving power to unaided private schools to formulate their own criteria for nursery class admissions. The notifications were issued by the Union Human Resources Development Ministry and the Delhi government. The HRD ministry has maintained the RTE Act provides for free and compulsory elementary education for children aged between 6 and 14 years, and the state government is free to make rules for preschool education for children below the age of 6 years. We're joined in the Headlines Today studio on this contentious verdict that's been handed down by the Delhi High Court. Sneh Mehta is principal of the Ramjas Nursery Primary School. We also joined with us in our studio by Ashok Agarwal. He's a lawyer by profession, also president of the All India Parents Association. Mr. Agarwal, I'd like to come to you first for an expert view on this verdict. What are the implications of it? Are you happy with it?
For the time being, of course, it is a relief to the schools. But I don't think it would be correct to say that the relief to the parents, because you see, and it is not an issue whether it is a relief to the parents or not. The issue is whether you can give a preference to one child over the other. The Right to Education Act clearly says that both have to be equally treated, and it leaves no doubt, and even High Court has commented that the only way to avoid the discrimination is the draw of law. But they have because of technicality, and the Government of India took the plea that 6 to 14 Right to Education Act apply, but below 6 it does not apply. So nursery means nursery.
Yes.
So accepting their plea, the High Court has said that Right to Education will not apply to the nursery. But at the same time, they have said in so many words that it amounts to discrimination. Therefore, the government should consider bringing nursery within the purview of Right to Education Act. And secondly, the High Court has very clearly stated that the schools are nothing but teaching shops.
Yes.
And they are saying, because
commercial establishments,
keeping in mind that this point system, because one of the point is school management quota.
Yeah.
It means selling of the seats, clearly making money.
Yeah.
Profiteering is
so there needs to be a system in place where schools don't have the power to actually make money out of admissions. Sneh Mehta, I'd like to get a word in from you. You're a principal of a nursery school. What is your assessment of this verdict by the Delhi High Court? What is it going to change?
Right. I would like to say that, first of all, when the verdict is out, that there is not going to be any change for the time being.
Yeah.
Schools as well as the parents are relieved. They want that some transparency has come, at least some decision has come, because all these days for the last 1.5 months
there was lack of clarity.
Yes, there was no clarity, and the parents were in a fix, and they were coming to school every day, might be making phone calls or something of that sort. Now from tomorrow onwards, we will start with the admission process for this session 2013 and 14. But I still feel that there is a need to change the act. The age group for the children should be from 3 to 18 years at least, and it should be a free education to all the children. This is the mandatory part right now, and the court should take an action as early as possible to make the guidelines free, absolutely clear for at least for the next session.
Is there a move towards making it a more expansive, more inclusive system, Mr. Agarwal?
Yes, of course. We have decided two things. One is that on one hand, we are moving to the Supreme Court, because we don't agree with that part that Right to Education Act only applies to 6 to 14.
It should apply
at least from nursery to class 8.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this discrimination will go on. Second is that the High Court has also indicated us that you should move, because High Court has said that nursery admissions in Delhi are governed by the provisions of Delhi School Education Act. That is another state act. And the High Court has said that we can move to the Lieutenant Governor making a representation that apply the same criteria to the nursery admission.
Who does this verdict harm? Who does this verdict harm right now?
Harm is only the schools, you see. It will only Because in fact, as I have said, that for the time being, the relief has been given to the school.
Yeah.
You can continue with this arbitrary procedure of admission, but it will not go for a long time, because next after 2 weeks again you will see another petition in the High Court challenging this very admission criteria. And on the other hand, we are moving to Supreme Court saying that right to education must be treated from 0 to 14.
Yeah.
So I think in fact this fight will continue unless the point is really settled.
Ma'am, final word to you. You know, there are thousands of people watching, including people who make decisions, parents, even children perhaps. What are your demands from the government? What needs to be done by the government to make an ideal system?
Absolutely right. First of all, I would like to say that the government should make the guidelines very clear in the month of September, so that the parents know in advance that how and which school they are going to go and what is the criteria. The schools have been given the priority, they are they are open that they can have the admission criteria based on the point system, depending on. But the government should make the guidelines that they should not be more than say 6 to 8 parameters, which should be applicable to all the schools.
Okay, so it's a more expansive. Quick, 10 seconds.
Say on the solution. The solution is that all government schools must be upgraded to the level of Kendriya Vidyalaya.
Yes.
And on the other hand, the government must regulate these private schools in respect of fees, admission, etc.
So it's a more expansive, more equal system that stakeholders in this entire issue are actually arguing for. Ashok Agarwal, Sneh Mehta, appreciate you joining us this evening on Headlines Today and telling us your views. It's always good to get an expert view on a story that is as contentious as this. We'll keep a track of that story.